Hey everyone, welcome to Diving In This Week Season 2. My name is Div and let's just dive in. To begin with, today we're going to talk about Twitter. Now Twitter recently just released a couple of new features and are rolling them out slowly. Now these features are divided into three different parts. We're gonna break them down one by one. So the first of these updates is called Twitter Super Followers. Now what Twitter Super Followers is for example, if you have a Twitter account and you are a celebrity, you could actually charge your followers from anywhere between $4.99 to $5.99 a month and give exclusive access to your content. Could be special tweets, announcements, videos, even certain tracks for some artists out there. Now this is similar to Patreon or OnlyFans. So now this leads to the second aspect, which is community spaces. Now as a Twitter account holder, you could create special communities of a specific genre, such as music you like, kinda similar to Facebook groups. But what's special about these spaces, which is the third update of Twitter, is it's similar to Clubhouse, where you could actually join in these community spaces and have a conversation via voice chat with the Twitter follower, with your specific Twitter followers. You could have one-on-one, unfiltered conversations and just have a great time. Now, my take on this is, whereas Patreon and Clubhouse have well-established markets where the Patreon offers subscriptions, Clubhouse with its voice rooms, Twitter is trying to combine all of them together. In the start, I feel like Twitter might have a little difficulty in getting people in, and only a few people will join in because it caters to a niche category of people. Similar to how Instagram took stories from Snapchat and made it much bigger on Instagram, and how Instagram is trying to take TikToks and making it big via Instagram Reels. So who knows, if Twitter plays its cards right, they might actually make it a big thing. Now next we're going to talk about the farmers' protest in India. Now this is something personal. It is happening in my home country and I would love to talk about it. Now farmers in India have been the backbone of our country. They've been giving us crops and have made India the biggest supplier of rice and wheat. How did this happen? After India's independence, we were in a very difficult situation when it came to crops and different things. And that's when the Green Revolution happened. We had farmers coming in from America and teaching our farmers how to grow crops and everything. So this is when we went from having a famine to being a big supplier of rice and wheat. India started doing fair pricing. Now, how does the Indian farmers market work? Farmers collectively bring their crops to a central location called the mandi, or which is like a farmer's market. Traders come in and buy these crops from these farmers in an auction style. Now the price there is set by the government, so you can't go too high or too low, but it's fair pricing for both the traders as well as the farmers, and there is an oversight from the local government into seeing that if all the transactions are going on well and going perfectly. Now this was going all well, but still, out of the 1.4 billion population of our country, 50% are farmers and they still have very low income. And farmers have been always asking for a change to help them earn more money, to increase their income, to get taxed less. But the government done goofed. Whereas the farmers wanted them to go in the right direction, the government went into the complete opposite direction, just like India's traffic. Now I'm gonna break these three bills down really quickly. Bill number 1, create unregulated market in parallel to these mandis. Now what this could lead to is the traders taking advantages of these farmers while they're having one-on-one transactions with them, because the farmers are not well educated in these laws. The second bill is creating a framework for these contracts. So big corporations could come in and actually take different farmers on contracts and actually build and store all of these grains and actually completely throw off the other farmers. And the final bill is eliminate storage limits. These mandis and the traders had storage limits set by the government, so at one point they could only buy a certain amount of grains or crops or vegetables. Now, eliminating these storage limits means any company or corporation with enough money could actually store a huge amount of crops and different things and can just run the market wild. They could increase and hike prices to whatever they want. And this is why the farmers are upset. Whereas the farmers actually wanted the government to take their side and actually support them, the government literally threw them in the dust and introduced these three bills that is eventually only making the rich get richer. In the Western countries, the farmers are treated so well and are helped a lot because the farmers are the backbones of our society in any country. And with the Indian government treating the farmers in such a way, their actions are so justified, and that's my view on this. And now for our third topic, we're going to talk about Asian hate crime. Ever since the start of the pandemic, there are ignorant people who are using this as an excuse to hate against Asians all around the world. Now, several celebrities with Asian backgrounds have been speaking about the hate crimes and the comments against them. Notably, the actress Olivia Munn has been speaking out about the hate crimes against her friend's mom. She's using her voice to spread awareness and create a conversation about Asian hate.
Olivia Munn is speaking out against the rise of violence against Asian Americans. On Wednesday, the actress shared on Instagram that her friend's mother was attacked in Flushing, Queens on Tuesday. She said that her friend's mother left the hospital with 10 stitches in her head. Munn also shared surveillance photos in which the alleged suspect is wearing a green jacket over a red hoodie, red sunglasses, and blue jeans. She urged the internet to help find the suspect and said, quote, "These racist hate crimes against our elders have got to stop." The attack was caught on nearby surveillance video, and it was shared on Twitter by ABC7 New York reporter Stefan Kim. It is disturbing to watch. In the clip, the suspect is seen throwing a box at the victim before violently pushing her to the ground. Kim said in his tweet of the video that a witness says that the assailant threw a box of spoons at the woman and yelled slurs before he shoved her.
Recently, a German reporter got a lot of heat for saying these horrendous comments about the K-pop band BTS. He said that BTS are some crappy virus that hopefully there'll be a vaccine for soon, and that they should vacation in North Korea. I mean, that's just ridiculous. How can you be a reporter and say that? And get this, the apology? He said that he owns a Korean car. That's the equivalent of saying that I'm not racist because I have a black friend. And then there were comments from celebrities like Steve Aoki, Simu Liu, as well as the NBA player Jeremy Lin. This had to say, "We're tired of Asian American kids growing up and being asked where they're really from, or having our eyes mocked, or being objectified as exotic, and being told we're inherently unattractive. Being a 9-year NBA veteran doesn't protect me from being called coronavirus on the court." People need to realize that these are not just some light jokes or dark humor that they can say. I mean, we're not snowflakes, and if this doesn't stop, this can get heated. Speaking of which, Dave, what's the weather report like? It's racist. This is not a time to be fake woke for 2 weeks, post something on social media for a day and call it whatever you want. It's time to rise up. We as people of color need to rise up and protect our rights and end this racism once and for all. And that's it for our first episode of Diving In This Week, Season 2. Let me know in the comments if you like the new setup and what would you like me to talk about. See you next week, same time, and I think the same place. See ya!